Earth was in crisis. World War III had begun. Details of the conflict are classified, but it ended with the detonation of multiple nuclear warheads, turning most of the northern hemisphere into nuclear wasteland. This radiation heats the Earth up, melts what's left of the ice caps, and floods most of the minor islands. Billions of lives are gone in an instant. Whole countries are wiped from the face of the planet, and the survivors' trust in any world power is shaken to its core. It is unknown which, but only one government stood tall after this devastation. They earned the trust of the people by claiming the destruction happened due to democratic anarchy, making people feel at least partially responsible for voting in the people who chose to launch the nuclear weapons. So, this government introduced a new way to vote: managed democracy. Managed democracy, at its core, is AI-assisted democracy. People do a personality test, and the candidate that best suits their personality is matched and automatically voted for. The theory is sound. You can't vote wrong, while being unable to argue about politics as nobody fully knows who they voted for. At the same time, it gives people the control of who is in power, and almost a guarantee you selected the right person for you. There are, of course, many ways to rig this system. Nobody knows who they voted for. In reality, there could only ever be one candidate. The AI could vote for whoever, regardless of your personality results. Or maybe the system works as intended, but every candidate is chosen by the government directly, so no matter who wins, they remain in power in the background. People were shaken with the global loss and looking for help, a leader and someone to guide them. And despite the possible failings with managed democracy, with it, the new government united the world, taking over every remaining country peacefully, rebuilding the cities. They renamed the planet Super Earth, and the empire is called the Federation of Super Earth, forging the way into the future. They discover the secrets of faster-than-light travel, build spaceships, and for the first time in human history, allowed humanity to expand their reach to new planets, an impressive leap in Earth technology. During this expansion to the stars, an alien race was found on the planet of Kepler Prime. Suspected to have a hive mind like wasps and ants, Super Earth names them bugs. These bugs bleed element 710, which can be used as oil. So oil pumps were set up on their home planet as a source of near-infinite fuel. However, these bugs evolve quickly when threatened, eventually starting to adapt to human hostility and begin to attack on sight until Kepler Prime is once again under bug control. But they kept going, spreading from planet to planet, killing everyone they came across, posing such a threat that Super Earth declares war on the bugs. On the other side of the galaxy, while these oil pumps were first being built, mines were being established on Cyberstan. The human colonists were left alone, and away from the government and the progress of Earth, began to see the flaws in managed democracy, eventually growing to resent the government. At the same time, they started to modify themselves with cybernetic enhancements. The common belief is this was to help them survive the planet's harsh conditions. However, nobody really knows the truth. It could all have been preparation to defeat the managed democracy propaganda they once followed. Eventually, there was a suicide attack from a cybernetically enhanced person on Super Earth, resulting in the death of 8 civilians. This sparked Super Earth to declare war on the humans they would now dub Cyborgs. There are rumours of the government staging the bombing themselves, or at least allowing it to happen in order to rally support for this war. However, there is no hard evidence of this. The last race is the Illuminate, an ancient race which predates mankind by eons. They have scouted the Milky Way and other galaxies for centuries, with most of old Earth's UFO sightings now being put down to sightings of their scout ships. When this race, who call themselves the Squith, saw humanity had the technology to venture into space, they introduced themselves in peace. Whatever happened in these peace talks is unknown, but according to the Federation, they found evidence of treachery to this peace offering. Multiple weapons that could destroy a planet were discovered, so the government decided to act first, striking at the Illuminate preemptively to weaken them and also not be taken off guard down the line. These three separate wars collided into what would be called the First Intergalactic War, with Super Earth needing to fend off three threats from across the Milky Way. To respond to these threats, the Helldivers were formed. In the First Intergalactic War, Helldivers were drafted from the military and navy, being given super destroyers as a means of travel, armed with the best guns and tech available. Super destroyers themselves are powerful warships, able to call down orbit strikes and direct fighter jets to a soldier's location, with a technology called stratagems. The Helldivers were rightly lauded as heroes, which in turn skyrocketed recruitment levels of Super Earth civilians, and with a near endless number, the Helldivers managed to win against all three threats. The surviving bugs were spared and put into oil farms to generate fuel for Super Earth. Heavy research was done, and the more permanent name of Terminids was coined. The Cyborgs were forced back to their homeworld of Cyberstan to be re-democratized. The armies of Super Earth remained heavily stationed there for 5 years, until they called this venture a success, and there has been no further issues from the Cyborgs. The Illuminates were fought to near extinction, with the survivors eventually surrendering. Super Earth accepted the surrender with exceptionally harsh rules. They had to disband all military organizations, turn over every piece of technology that could have military uses, and leave the Milky Way, never to return. The Illuminate left, with the Federation believing what survivors remain would scatter, and eventually the race would become extinct. With this victory came 100 years of peace, the Helldiver duties being changed to that of a peacekeeper. Using the Illuminate technology to further their own, managed democracy was spread to 261 planets, until, almost out of nowhere, the Second Galactic War broke out. The Terminids rebelled from their farms, once again attacking any human within sight. The hive mind has planned well, with many planets having full nests under the surface, ready to help the trapped bugs get their freedom. At the same time, a new threat has appeared. The Automatons, full robots, attacking the Super Earth under the same banner the Cyborg threat used 100 years prior. Helldivers are once again deployed to fight the Terminids and Automatons. Victory over the bots looked all but assured, swiftly pushing them out of Federation space, allowing them to refocus on exterminating the Terminids. But after 3 days, the Automatons they had fought so hard to eradicate returned. Those they had killed were just the tip of a much bigger army, and the main body invaded, swarming the Cyborgs' homeworld of Cyberstan and taking it as their base of operations. It is clear they're tied to the Cyborgs, but exactly how is unknown. Neither of these conflicts have yet ended, and the most recent development is the scariest by far. The Illuminate has reappeared from nowhere, launching their own attack, firstly attempting to attack us using black holes, and now they have attacked Super Earth directly. We are once again forced to fight 3 war fronts, all at the same time. So go, take up arms, fight for your Super Earth, fight for freedom, and fight for managed democracy.